Welcome everyone, Secret Squirrel Games. Hitting some cross out, doing our daily and weekly challenges again as we do at noon Eastern Standard Time in the United States on Tuesday through Friday. Knocking out our daily and weekly challenges and also running the challenges that are related to the current season event that's going on, the Syndicate season, which is still going on for almost 2 more months. So we're going to knock out those daily challenges as well. And actually, I think they have their midweek challenge update should be in as well. So we have some weekly challenges for that we're going to be knocking out. As usual, like I said, we concentrate on challenges first on this stream. And for those who might be unfamiliar with the game of Crossout, it's a post-apocalyptic vehicle building and fighting game. Essentially, you build your Mad Max style junk piece vehicle like the one pictured here. This is a low power score vehicle. Power scores are what evaluates the toughness of the vehicle, whether it be in defensive nature or offensive nature or other, whether it be weapons or armor or some other specialty pieces that you might have like radar or a stealth module so that you can go invisible on the battlefield, or a cooler of some kind that lowers the cooldown or speeds up the cooldown rate, I should say, of your vehicle. Things like that. All of those have a power score to them. The power score gets calculated for the entirety of the vehicle. This particular vehicle is what I call a low power score vehicle. It's only 1667 power score. And what you'll see is in the course of the game, there are plenty of folks who have vehicles much higher in power score. Like in my own blueprints here, I have a variety of power scores: a very low 1600, a 3000, a 4000, 6000, a 9000, and then a 12800 power score. So you can see that they rank up there, that you can get even higher than that, definitely. And then when you get into things called Leviathans, like this monstrosity here, you're looking at a vehicle that has 23,000, and I've seen Leviathans with much higher than that as well. But we're going to concentrate on the main vehicle in the garage today, specifically because if we look at doing our daily and weekly challenges as usual, we're going to look at our daily challenge section. You can see on the challenge tab there are 3 sub-tabs: challenges, seasonal challenges, and badge exchange. The badge exchange tab is where you would exchange in for resources or a couple of loot crates, basically. These things called engineer badges. You earn engineer badges through the accomplishment of weekly challenges over here. You can see a couple of these I've already achieved some progression toward. We're going to do some of that as well today, in addition to the daily challenges. And in fact, accomplishing our daily challenges that are listed up here in this section, we're going to be making some progression towards some weekly challenges. Specifically these 2 right here, these 2 weekly challenges. This weekly challenge is just for some decor items for your test track, which I'll show that in a little bit as well. And then there is this weekly challenge here of completing 42 daily challenges. You can see we've progressed 27 of our 42 at this time. That will give you, will award you a miner's container, which I'll leave that pop up on the screen there so you can see what it affords you as a reward as well. Possibility of things, or you can sell the miner's container itself on a market to other players for about 30 or so, 31, 32 or so in-game coins, which you can then use to buy other parts for yourself if you'd like. But additionally, we are going to finish off today after we do our daily, or as we accomplish our daily challenges. We're going to be finishing off, and then afterwards we're going to also specifically do some of these weekly challenges even after we're done with our daily challenges. I'll get to that in a little bit, but our intention is going to be completing this win 6 battles and easy raids weekly challenge. We've already got 4 of the 6. We're going to do 2 easy raids as part of the normal course of events that we do when we do our daily and weekly challenges. And that's going to get us 100 of those engineer badges, the aforementioned engineer badges that would be used on the badge exchange. Additionally, we're probably going to complete one of these 2 weekly challenges here, which is win 10 battles in normal raids with plastic as the reward, or in normal raids with copper as a reward. And that would, if the accomplishment of either one of those is going to give us another 150 engineer badges. Now, when I'm talking about these raids versus missions, I'm talking about, and I'll show on the garage tab again, there's this little section here that says select mode. When you select it, it shows the map, the cross-out map. There are specific locations with different battle maps, basically. So like this area here, whatever, if there's ever, and there are more than just what you see here, first off. But if there's ever one of these banners at this spot, that refers to, as you can see up above there, the Eastern Array battle map. All right, where it says mission parameters, it says that this is an easy level difficulty raid. It says who the enemy is, and there are different factions: nomads, lunatics, scavengers, fire starters, steppenwolves, Dawn's children. What those factions mean as enemies is it will give you an idea of what to expect as far as what types of enemy weaponry and vehicle, maybe some other abilities that they may have, like, again, the aforementioned stealth and things like that. That'll give you some clue as to what you're going to be going up against. Additionally, it's good to know who you're going up against, because sometimes there may be a challenge that says destroy this many vehicles from the Nomads faction. Well, then you don't want to be doing raids against Steppenwolves or Dawn's Children. That's not accomplishing that challenge for you. So you want to be efficient and make sure you're picking the right raids so that you can accomplish the mission. But anyway, this gone in 2 minutes at the Eastern Array map against Nomads as an easy level challenge is not always at this location. This, let's take Eastern Array. Okay, so there's not another vehicle escort mission on here, but there is another one. There is another vehicle escort mission that might replace the gone in 2 minutes mission on this same map, because this map is like a winding road through an area where you're escorting a vehicle. There's a couple of different ones that you can do that. What's going on? Dove Stealer 1, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream, good to have you. So it may switch for mission type, it may switch for enemy type, it may switch for mission difficulty level. These green banners are all your raids, all right? And raids are, think of them as small quests, little missions where you have 2 to possibly up to 4 players in their vehicles who have to accomplish whatever this task is. Now, the pop-up will give you a little flavor text to give you an idea of what is what's expected, and a little storyline, perhaps a little lore as far as what's going on that's prompting this quest. But the title up at the top, Data Theft in this case, on the Wrath of Khan map, is a hard level mission against Steppenwolves. There are other data thefts at different difficulty levels, like this other one's also a hard level mission, but it's on a different map at the bridge, and it's against a different enemy, fire starters, you see. Now, what you also look at when you see these mission parameters on these pop-up banners is requirements, just under the mid-level of the pop-up banner here, or the pop-up information here. You'll see that's red right now as far as the power score of the vehicle. That's because my current active vehicle that's in my garage does not meet the power score requirements. Therefore, I'm not eligible to click on that and select that mission right now. I would have to change my vehicle to a vehicle that has at least a 5,000 power score in order to meet that requirement. Then that part would be white. But additionally, you have to be a level 5 at least with lunatics, nomads, or scavengers factions. All right, which that requirement's met. That's fine there. But then the final requirement over there, you'll see that little teardrop shape, and it says 60. That means you have to spend 60 fuel in order to do this hard mission. All hard level missions hard level raids, cost 60 fuel. Hard level is denoted by the 3 stars on the banner. Normal level raids with the 2 stars on the banner, these two, they cost 40 fuel, and they have a 4,000 power score requirement. And then the single star banners here are easy level raids, and they only cost 20 fuel. Now, when I'm referring to fuel, I'm referring to this green number up here. You have 200 liters of fuel in your tank. It tops off every day, or at midnight Greenwich Mean Time, and it tops off to 200. You don't get fuel given to you in your storage. It just fills your tank. So if you ended your day with 100 fuel in your tank, then it's just going to give you 100 fuel to top it off to 200. If you ended your fuel with 0 in the tank, then it's going to give you 200 fuel. So the most efficient means, of course, is to use up all the free fuel at least every day. And then that way you get the most benefit out of it, because if you use up the free fuel by doing the raids, then you're getting rewards for those raids. And that's just essentially translates to free rewards if it was done with free fuel, and the fuel is the cost to get the rewards, therefore free rewards, right? So that's what we're going to do. In addition to our challenges itself, we're going to use up our 200 free fuel. So once we get completed our daily challenges, we're going to still continue with the progress toward those weekly challenges that I was mentioning, of doing these raids here with whatever remaining fuel we still have. Follow? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our daily raids, or our daily challenges, excuse me, not raids, and we're going to see what's the most efficient way to do this, because we want to do this efficiently. All right. So first off, again, a slight difference. I explained what raids are. Raids were 2 to 4 players conducting a quest, right, on that mode map. What I didn't explain, though, was that these up here are all classified as missions as compared to raids. These 3 say mission versus survivors, right under the Get Wires title, mission versus survivors, and mission versus survivors, meaning those are all PvP battles, okay? They have their own requirements. You can see them there. Power score 4,000, level 10 with the engineers. And that one's called Get the Wires, so you get wires as a resource. These resources are all used in the crafting that you use on the Factions tab up here. When you access different workbenches, and you have you can build your own weapons and vehicle parts. Get Wires will get you wires as the resource, obviously. Get Batteries will get batteries as a resource, obviously. And get the Scrap Metal will get you scrap as the resource, obviously. But those are all PvP battles up there against other people in like an arena format. They don't have a quest line particularly. They might have one goal. They're going to have one goal besides just kill all the enemy, and that's usually either capture a central base or capture the opponent's base, depending on what the map, how the map is set up or whatever. So you can win. So you have 2 win possibilities. You can either capture the opponent's base or capture the central base, or you can just defeat all the enemies, and thus you win as soon as you do that. But those 3 are PvP. This one here, Patrol, is a battle against AI vehicles. So instead of fighting other players, you're fighting computer-controlled vehicles. But it's effectively the same thing, except for because it's only AI vehicles, it does reward scrap metal, but not at the same rate as the PvP one up here that says get the scrap metal, okay? However, the interesting thing about it is that because it's AI, you know, and it's not quite as crafty as most human players, you generally have a higher success rate as far as winning them. Because if you look at the challenges, these things say win 2 battles, not just participate in 2 battles. You have to win. So the more efficient means of accomplishing that is to take the higher percentage win option, and that's going to be Patrol against AI vehicles. Now, when you look at the other thing about these arena battles, all 4 of these arena battles, okay, as compared to the raids, like I said, where the raids were 2 to 4 players trying to accomplish some kind of a goal. These are all just arena battles with the either capture the base or kill the enemy goal, but they're all 8 versus 8 battles in this arena format, basically. And by arena, I'm just saying it's a broad open map with 8 versus 8. If it's PvP, then on both of the teams will be at least 4 human players. Otherwise, it'll put you in the queue to start the match, but it won't start the match until there's at least 4 human players. There can be more. There can be up to 8, obviously. It's going to try to keep the human players as even as possible, and then it'll fill in the blanks with bots. All right, so it might be 6 human players on one team, 5 human players on the other, and the remainder on each team will be bots to make it 8 versus 8. On the Patrol, it's against 8 bots, and the human team, we'll call it, has to be at least 4 human players as well in order to initiate a match. The remainder of whatever to fill up the 8 on that team will also be bots if need be. But like I said, that's the more efficient means as far as accomplishing your wins for your challenges. So we're going to look at our challenges, and we're also going to look at our seasonal challenges, because we want to plan out our activity to, like I said, to be more efficient and get the most bang for our buck. When we look at our seasonal challenges, we have daily challenges here, and these are standard every single day of the season. Okay, they're always the same. It says 1 of 5, and you only see 1 here, which is earn 2 patches from blah, 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 different categories. You earn patches as you accomplish things like, using a certain weapon to defeat a certain number of enemies, things like that, or whatever. This one says earn 2 patches from that in order to achieve 300 experience points toward the next level in the current seasonal event. Right now I'm at 2,000 of 5,000 experience points toward the Syndicate seasonal event. 32nd level I am in, that would be toward 33rd level. In other words, if you look at the rewards for the seasonal event, if you look, I've already gotten all of these because the level is down here at the bottom, and we're currently sitting partway through this one, and then that will be given to me. That's this new cabin, and then we'll move along and continue to progress up that line. However, the point being that this says earn 2 patches for 300 experience, so that would obviously jump to 2,300 experience. But like I said, it says 1 of 5. That's because this mission gets replaced by a follow-on mission that says earn 3 patches from the categories blah 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 for 400 experience once this is completed. Then once that one's completed, it gets replaced by another one that will say earn 4 patches for 500 experience. It'll continue for all 5 of those, going up 100, going up one with a 1 patch requirement, and then going up with 100 additional experience points toward the seasonal event. So we've got that to go, but that's going to happen. We don't have to focus on that because that's going to happen as we do our other daily challenges. What we do have to look at, though, here, now granted, we have a few days to do these. It'll say it resets in 3.5 days, basically. But earn the patch Assistant 2 times. Assistant is just helping destroy enemies, where you get an assist, a kill assist, instead of being the one that destroys the enemy. Just getting a shot off and doing any damage to an enemy, and then somebody else killing it, you'll get, that counts as an assist for you. So that's an easy one to get. I'm not going to worry about that one. It's going to happen by default. I won't have to actually actively focus on getting that one. In one battle, destroy 2 modules. Complete that 5 times. Now, modules are things like your stealth module, like I said, or it might be a drone module and things like that, as compared to regular weapons, guns, and things like that. So in that case, I'm going to want to look for particular targets that have those modules on them, and I want to definitely make sure I'm hitting those modules. Now, for destroy, I don't have to be the one that actually blows the thing off of there. I just have to have hit the module, caused some damage to the module, and then somebody else can blow it off, and that's fine. It'll still qualify as me destroying it. And then this one is, in one battle, destroy 60 parts with autocannons. Complete that 5 times. Now that one is specific. I'm definitely going to have to specifically pay attention to, because I will have to make sure that the build that I'm using, the vehicle that I'm using, has autocannons. Now, in order to optimize my potential of completing this challenge, I'm going to have a build that is all autocannons. All its weapons are autocannons, so that I'm not doing damage and destroying parts with a different weapon. I'm maximizing my potential of destroying parts with autocannons. Luckily, I already have a build that is all autocannons, so I will be able to use that to hopefully accomplish that in pretty short order. Those are the seasonal challenges on the seasonal challenges subtab. If I go to the regular challenges subtab, you can see, like I said, win 2 battles and missions. And then here's one that says win 2 battles in missions or raids using a machine gun, rapid fire machine gun, minigun, or combat laser. Because those both say win 2 battles in missions or raids, in this case, but I'll do them in the missions. I can, as long as my vehicle is equipped with one of those approved weapon types to qualify for the satisfaction of this daily challenge, then I'll be automatically completing both of those concurrently at the same time, okay? And that's good. This one I don't have to worry about, complete 3 daily challenges. That's going to happen as we do the daily challenges. That's not a problem. Craft any part on any workbench. That's an easy one. I have total control over that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and knock that out. I'm just going to go to a basic workbench. And let's say we do one of these, because I come across things where I need one of these in my inventory. I already have 3, now I have 4. Fine, done. You see it says it was completed. I was awarded 25 scrap for that. And while may not have taken note of the individual numbers for these two down here, they did advance 1 toward the completion of these weekly challenges, and you can see that I also have 1 of 3 for the complete 3 daily challenges completed already. Now, of note, there are 9 regular daily challenges, not counting the seasonal challenges. And remember, if you remember on the seasonal challenges, I said that when you accomplish this one, it gets replaced by one that is slightly harder, but it gives a little bit higher reward, and then that's replaced by one that's slightly harder and gives a little higher reward and stuff like that. So it shows 1 of 5. There are 9 actual daily challenges, though it only showed 5, of which we've accomplished 1. These remaining 4 are all kind of like that seasonal challenge was. As each one of these is accomplished, they're going to be replaced by one that is slightly harder. So win 2 battles and missions is going to be replaced by one that says win 3 battles and missions. Instead of 20 scrap, the follow-on's going to is going to award 55 scrap. This one that says win in 1 raid is going to be one that says win in 2 raids after it's accomplished, and it's good, instead of 20 scrap like this one does, it will also give 55 scrap. Likewise, this one that says win 2 battles and missions or raids using the machine gun is going to be replaced by one that says win in 3 battles doing that. Instead of 20 scrap, it's also going to get 55 scrap. This one here that says complete 3 daily challenges, once it is accomplished, it will be replaced by one that says complete 4 daily challenges. And instead of the 15 scrap that it has listed, I believe it's 100 scrap that it gets replaced by. So significantly higher jump on that one. But all of those, like I said, are going to be replaced by something else as they're accomplished. We're going to go ahead and work on the missions first, knock these out of the way. The 2 missions, and the 2 missions are in raids or missions, the 2 battles in missions, and the 2 battles in missions or raids using a machine gun, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do it at low power score, because these battles, the queue half the time to get into the battle is longer than the battle. When you're looking at a 1667 power score battle, these battles go very fast. This has machine guns on it. It's got 3 machine guns on it, so it qualifies for the accomplishment of both of those daily challenges as we accomplish these missions. And we're going to do it in the highest likelihood of success type of mission that we have available to us, which, as I said before, is the patrol. I know it's against it's a PvE mission against AI, but that is your higher likelihood chance of success. So that's where we're going to do it, and we're going to be knocking out these raids. Now, since they currently say win 2 battles in missions and win 2 battles in missions using machine guns, blah, 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 and I said that those are going to be replaced by ones that say win 3 battles doing the same thing, that essentially means we have to complete 5 of these in order to accomplish those 2 daily challenges and the follow-on 2 daily challenges. So we're just going to knock out 5 patrol missions. Hopefully they'll all be wins, and then we'll move on. Get these daily challenges efficiently knocked out. Oops, I just accidentally hit that. I hope that wasn't too loud in anybody's ear. I apologize. I hit a cord here that hit the microphone. All right, so we are queued up. Okay, we've got 7 of us. All 8 of us are human players. That's good. And then there's 8 bots on the other side. The bots just generally have regular names like Connor and William and David and stuff like that. They don't look like regular internet screen names or handles that somebody might pick and choose. Stop. See, that's what you get. That's what you get. Falling off and coming after me. Now what? Now what? That's it. See, that guy was trying to shoot me with his cannons. Had to be that way. Oh, you guys got him? Okay. No. Is he still on our base? Maybe. Yeah, I think he's still on our base. No, I don't know. They might have got... Oh, doesn't matter. He was destroyed. So you see, that battle didn't take very long at all. I barely got it. And, oh, excellent. Thanks for the feedback. I'm glad the sound is good. I tried to balance it out. I have been doing this for a little bit. These cross-out daily challenge videos and stuff. But you see, that battle did not take very long at all. And because of it, when we look at our challenges, we've obviously made progress. 1 success toward the 2 required for the accomplishment of each of those daily challenges. And then we'll be good to go. As soon as we do another one, those 2 will be done, and they will be replaced, as I said, with ones that say complete 3 battles and missions, and 3 battles and missions, or raids using a machine gun, blah, 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 blah. Pause for the drink there. And as I mentioned also, sometimes the queue takes longer than the battle. So the queue there just took 30 seconds. And boom, let's see how long this battle takes. It won't be quite 30 seconds, but it might only be, you know, a minute and a half or 2 minutes. What are we at right now? 10 seconds? Yep, 10 seconds. All right. And the great thing also about these low power scores, you can just go right at them. You don't even have to hesitate. You can just go right at them. I just pushed that guy off the bridge. That guy's destroyed. That was his drone. Oops. Stop backing into me. So we're at 1 minute. I know, right? This game has lasted 1 minute and 5 seconds so far. Olivia doesn't even know how bad her day is about to become. And done. 1 minute and 25 seconds. So like I said, these are an efficient way to accomplish your daily challenges. Sure, you could do PvP. And like I said also, the win 2 battles was replaced by win 3 battles. Win 2 battles here was replaced by win 3 battles. You can do PvP if that's what your preference is. I like to point out, though, specifically to people that there is a PvE element, because some people aren't as big on PvP as others, you know? But yeah, you could, instead of doing the patrol and doing PvE, you could do PvP, and that would accomplish the same thing as far as your daily challenge is concerned. But your chance of success, if it's PvP, then it's inherently only a 50-50 chance of success, really, because it's people versus people. And you don't know how skilled the other team is, and you don't know how skilled your team's going to be. So really, you only have a 50-50 chance of success. Now, in PvE, you have a higher chance. I mean, don't get me wrong, after the latest update, PvE, the bots have gotten a bit tougher. Not really so much at this really low power score like this. You're still pretty good as far as the success ratio is concerned. But when you start getting into a high power score, don't poo-poo PvE. The bots will, they will mess you up. And they are snipers from across the map with their cannon shots. Unless you're really fast and can avoid them, they will nail you. They're a lot better than humans shooting across the map in that respect. But like I said, PvE, especially at the low power score, there's only so much they can do. Even if they're smarter, or, even if they've improved the AI, I should say, you have to understand that at this low power score, while they don't have the powerful weapons and all this stuff, the vehicles are so squishy you don't need powerful weapons, so vehicles get killed pretty fast, as you can see. Come on. You can see how fast enemies are getting killed, how fast anybody's getting killed. Players, enemies, whatever. Stop avoiding me, Yearn. Oh, thought you just do the little Top Gun maneuver, did you? Oh, now what you got? There you go. I don't know exactly, I didn't time that battle or whatever, but they just don't take very long at this power score, as you can see. And that is what I call efficient use of your time. If you're not able to sit down and play for a long time, but you want to knock out your challenges, especially if you're an entry-level player, low power score is great. You know, you want to get some new parts, but you know, you don't have the resources yet to be able to really invest in all the crafting, or you don't have the levels yet with the factions. You haven't earned levels with different factions in order to have access to all the crafting workbenches that you might want. Then this is a very efficient thing for you, because in the course of 1 week, just by playing the game, which is what you came here to do anyway, but by doing it in the accomplishment of your daily challenges, you have the opportunity to get this miner's container, which has a good chance of getting you a blue, a rare probability part, a rare untradeable part, or a purple, even an epic untradeable part. And those are free. So that's a great way to improve your vehicle without you having invested in developing the reputation in order to access a bunch of different workbenches yet, and being able to craft it yourself with the resources or anything like that, and the time involved. We're down to just 2 here, I think. I just ran into a wall. Wasn't even looking where I was driving, only looking where I was aimed to shoot. That guy went out the outside. Everybody's going to chase him. There we go. So again, very quick battles, especially depending on what map it is that you're using. And there you go. Like I said, the seasonal challenges over here were happening at the same time. They were automatically happening. In fact, I even accomplished one of these weekly ones just by accident. That was the one that said get the assist badges. I did that by just as I was doing the other challenges. That gave me 7,000 experience. I'm already 33rd level now and almost 34th. When I get this, remember I said there were 5 of these patches? We're down to only 3 left, and we've already got progress toward one of those. That's happening at the same time as you're accomplishing the other battle. So you always do PvP. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that. When I first started, I did it as a casual game, a very casual game. I didn't even focus on the factions or didn't really look at the workbenches. Wasn't even really trying to improve my vehicle. I never even looked at it as a serious game. It was a free game. It was something that I could get on and do quick battles. You know, they only took a few minutes, even in PvP, at the low power score that I was at. They didn't take very long. So I did it as a very casual game, you know, and just went in, would fight, and things like that. And I looked at it as something I could do, like if I was sitting around and I said, oh, you know, I'm kind of bored playing this other game, or I don't have a whole lot of time to play, or whatever it is, then I might go, all right, well, I can burn a half hour or maybe an hour. I'll just get on Crossout and fight some battles and just have some fun blowing up a car. If nothing else, maybe it's a little stress release, blowing up some cars, things like that. Now, I mean, once I started taking it a little more seriously, I started paying attention. Moogles! Moogie Moogles. Ow. This freaking bot just ran me into the environment there. Anyway, Moogles is one of the followers. A regular here in the Secret Squirrel Games community. I see them in game right now. Like I said, a lot of folks don't pay attention to the PvE elements, and I don't really, honestly, I don't think that the game is doing itself enough I think it's doing itself a little disservice by not letting some people know that there are PvE options, raids, and these patrol missions and things like that. Because I think that there are people who would love to blow up cars, love to drive around and blow up cars, but maybe they feel intimidated by PvP. Maybe they don't want the smack talk of some kid in his basement, calling them names or whatever it is, and they're just like, you know what? That's for kids who don't know any better, and stuff, and they don't want to play that. So, I mean, I think that there is an element of there is a part of a crowd. Nope, actually, I don't need to. I can cancel that. There is a community out there. There are players out there who would enjoy blowing up cars and stuff like that, who just don't want to hassle with it, per se, or they're just not very good at it, and they don't want to continue to get blown up all the time by somebody who has dedicated hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to cross out, and who has tweaked every aspect of their vehicle, and they've min-maxed everything. They've got the minimum where they don't need things, and they got the maximum where they're concentrating on things and stuff like that. And therefore, it's the most efficient vehicle, and it's guaranteed success every time, and they get MVP every time. And that guy kind of ruins it for other people. Another problem that Crossout has, which hurts the community, is new players come in, and after they get past that entry-level battle thing and battle arena, just for absolute starters, and they get to advance to the actual point where they're selecting modes on this map, and they start to play some low power score PvP, and they find that somebody like me or somebody else who is even more advanced and all this kind of stuff, definitely, who has access to better stuff, makes a vehicle like this is okay. This is fine for that power score, even for PvP. This is acceptable because these are all parts that, I mean, the most I have is 2 blue coolers in the back here so that these machine guns don't have very much, because this cabin will give 8 energy. These machine guns use 2 energy each. They're LM54 cords. That leaves me 2 energy. The radar doesn't use energy. I put 2 CS Tamer back here. They're 2 blue coolers. They're easy to make. They're only the first level of workbench beyond the white stuff, beyond the common level stuff. So it's accessible even by pretty junior players, pretty noobish players. However, not everybody builds their vehicle this way. Some folks instead take this 8 energy and they go into build and they go, okay, well, let me see what I have. I can use 8 energy. Oh, well, a Retcher is 6 points. Yeah, that's a legendary item. That's a 2400 power score. So yeah, that's going to bump you up. But even so, even if you added that on there and took off the 3 machine guns and just did 1 Retcher build, or whatever, sure, you're going to bump up. You're going to be around the almost 4,000. You're going to be like 3,500 or something like that, or whatever. Power score instead of 1,600. But even so, that's a legendary item, Or maybe I don't go Retcher. Maybe I go Cricket here. That's 1,375. I could put that on there instead of those 3 machine guns, because what are the machine guns? What are the LM54 cords? LM54 cord... they're there. They're 170 each. If you take 3 of those off, that's 300... that's 510. 510. Okay, if I go 1375 here, that only increases me basically 850, 865, whatever. So my 1600 and whatever vehicle, 1667, becomes 2500, let's say. All right, just ballparking it here. 2500 is still very low power score, but now I'm playing with, a weapon that does this kind of damage and everything instead. A lot. Look at that damage. The damage bar is all the way out there. If you're good with it, if you already know, if you're adept at using the missile launchers like this, the rocket launchers like this, that damage versus 3 of these at that damage, which is only just over 1 bar. The other's got 10 bars of damage. I mean, think about it. You know, is that fair? No, that's where the term seal clubbing comes in. That's where bigger players who have access to better stuff go into the junior battles with weaponry. They'll only use one weapon, you know, that is a higher power score weapon, much more powerful than what the junior players may have access to. And they're dominating, they're picking on these junior players in PvP with their massive weapon, with their one massive weapon, you know, so seal clubbing's a problem. Well, I can understand for players who either only have played the game casually, whether they've had the game for a long time, or are new to the game and have not played it at all, or are considering the game and are watching videos and they see things like this and they go, wow, I don't feel comfortable. I think I would get annihilated, and that's frustrating, and then that's no fun. And the whole point of a game, of course, is to have fun. Therefore, you get into a situation where, like I said, this vehicle is fine for that power score, but I wouldn't use it in PvP because I'd be outclassed by people using a lot better than LM54 cords. There would be seal clubbing because this is still basically an entry-level vehicle for the most part. That's why it's, you know, just 3 machine guns like this. But people don't play like that. Like I said, a lot of folks seal club. So that's why I like to point out that there is a PvE option. Those folks who might be either intimidated or think that they're completely going to be outmatched in a PvP battle can start to practice their builds, get comfortable with their builds, and actually become adept at the use of their builds by playing the game in a PvE fashion and actually achieving some success in doing so. And that'll help you feel a little more confident in your ability and all that stuff to be able to fight. And then if you want to go into PvP after a while with a build that you feel pretty successful in, then that's different. Go ahead, do your thing, you know, whatever. Or you have the option of more PvE options. You could play the game just PvE and never mess with PvP. I rarely mess with PvP anymore. I was all PvP when I first started playing, and I backed away from that, really, honestly. Well, a number of events in life, you know, deployments overseas and things like that kept me away from the game for a while and everything. But then when I came back, I was like, okay, I'm going to start, maybe I'll start checking into more of this stuff. Maybe I'll start looking at the market, although I rarely buy anything on the market. But I'll start looking at the workbenches that are on the factions and things like that. What do I want to work toward? What would I like to have? Now, I have a higher power score vehicle. It's not designed for PvP. It would get annihilated in PvP because the weapons aren't protected in any way, and they're sitting up high, and other players would just shoot them off really easy. But it's great for PvE. I love it. It's fast. It's got a lot of power and energy level to it, so I have 2 of those aforementioned retchers, which are powerful weapons, especially in PvE. They're awesome. I love them. And I got a bunch of ammo boxes and stuff on there, so I start with just a crap ton of ammo and everything. Now, I believe Moogles has probably contacted me. Yep. No, that's that. Let me respond to Moogles here, because he said he's got some schoolwork or whatever, so he's not a problem at all, man. Good luck with your schoolwork. See you next time. There you go. Moogles likes to join me a lot, either just in the stream, in the chat, and or also as an in-game friend. We team up a lot and knock out some of these dailies and weeklies and stuff like that together. So he was just saying he was sorry that he wasn't in the stream. He had work going on. Sorry for having to take a moment out to respond to him. But, you know, I like to try to keep my engagement with my my viewer base and everything. So anyway, my point being that I think the game is doing itself a slight disservice in always it comes across, and I understand that they're playing to the majority. The majority of the folks who are attracted to Crossout are attracted for PvP, and I think that they're doing themselves a slight disservice, though, by not really advertising the fact that there is PvE in here too, because I think that there is a fan base out there that might be more acceptable of getting into the game if they knew that it didn't have the, the pressures, that some people may feel of PvP, or just the level of disappointment if you're not good at it, So I try to make sure I point out that there is PvE, definitely, and it is available, and it's still fun. I mean, it's more mindless. You don't really have to think as much. When you're doing those patrol missions, especially with the real low power score like that, you're just driving around and shooting stuff. So it's kind of great. It's kind of even a better stress reliever, because you don't have to worry about that one dude who's been griefing you in battle after battle after battle or anything like that. You don't have to go, oh crap, that guy's on that side, I know I'm dead because he's gonna blah blah blah. You don't have to worry about any of that in PvE, because those bots, they don't grief you. They just do their thing until you blow them up or they blow you up, whatever it is. So anyway, but back to what we were here for, knocking out our daily and weekly challenges. We've knocked out each of those challenges. This one used to be the complete 3 daily challenges, has been replaced by one that says complete 4 daily challenges already. It has 100 scrap for it as a reward as well. And then if you look, we have win in 1 raid, like I said, which will be replaced by one that says win in 2 raids as well. Got it? Easy peasy, right? And then that's going to get us up here to, once that's done, and then the follow-on's done, that'll be 35, and then once this is done, 36 of 42 is what we're going to be at toward the miners container. Additionally, like I said, as far as the win in 1 raid and the win in 2 raids, that means we got to win in 3 raids, right? Well, instead of just randomly picking raids, let's plan them out based on our weekly raids. Be efficient with them, of course. As far as our weekly raids are concerned, we have these 2 down here that say win 10 battles in normal difficulty level raids, with copper as the reward or plastic as the reward, in order to get these engineer badges that we can exchange on the badge exchange for resources and things like that. That's absolutely true, Trader. Absolutely true. The game doesn't. I think they're falling short a little bit in their advertising, I guess, or something maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it might be in the intro tutorials or whatever when you start the game. It's been so long since I've done that I don't know what kind of information it front loads the new player in those intro tutorials anymore, honestly. But yeah, I think it would help if they mentioned that stuff. If they opened people's eyes to that a little bit better. I think that would improve some of the oh, okay. They don't mention it all. All right. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am, because I think that would give people a better feel as they went into the game, to sit there and go, hey, maybe they come in with the intention to be PvP, and that's fine. And they start playing it, and they're having fun, but they're also getting somewhat frustrated because they're not very good yet. They don't have the most optimal build, and they're getting outclassed, and then maybe they sour on it, and then maybe they don't pick up the game again. They keep it loaded, perhaps, of course, because it's free. I mean, it didn't cost them anything. It's not like there's a monthly cost or anything like that. And they intend to come back, but maybe they never do, because they're just like, I mean, it was cool, but I kept getting my ass kicked, so I don't bother, and all this stuff or whatever. And I'm sure there's plenty of folks out there who've said that. If you ask gamers, hey, have you ever tried Crossout? I guarantee you there are folks out there who sit there and say, yeah, I tried it for a while, but I wasn't very good, so I don't do it, And I would love to have that conversation with those folks and say, listen, don't give up on the community. Just change the way you're playing the game. That's all. You can still have the fun with the game. Just change the way you're doing it. That's all. Alter it a little bit. There are other options out there that are not all banging your head against a brick wall. You don't have to do that. There are softer walls to bang your head against than brick, So, yeah, I think that they would do themselves somewhat better if they highlighted that a little bit, I'm not saying advertise the game only as PvE. Obviously, there's always going to be PvP is at its core, and there's always going to be a core element of the game's players who are PvP. But I do think that they could really, point out that it's not all that only. We do offer other elements. In fact, and Dove, I know if you're not as familiar with this whole side of it, with the raids and everything over here, I know you said before you had tried the Leviathan thing and got your ass kicked there, which understandable. That's a hard match. I don't know if you ever tried the Awakening, the adventure mode here. May not have ever tried it. We'll go visit that after we're done with our raids, okay? Remind me to point out that the Awakening adventure mode to you, because it can be a bit repetitive, definitely, but there is an actual storyline of quests in there. It's a large map. I mean, in comparison to the other maps, the other battle maps, it is an extremely large map. It's a big sandbox mode map. You can go in there. There's other players driving around, but you're not in PvP. You're not fighting them. There's PvE. There are different spawn points of different enemies and stuff, and you can PvE all you want. It's a great. You have your test track. Let's point it out. If nothing else, even if you don't like it for anything else, you have your test track. For anybody who's unfamiliar, you can test drive anything that you build in your garage by coming out here. And I'll go ahead and touch on this first, and then I'll come back to that. All right, for anybody who's new to the game and unfamiliar with it, you have a test track here just by hitting that test drive option above your vehicle in the garage. You have ramps over here. You can see what kind of air you can get by driving. What its incline rate of ascension might even be. You've got like curvatures on the walls if you like to have some kind of a power drifter. You've got different terrain elements and stuff like that for test driving your vehicle. If you want to see how effective your vehicle's armor basically is, or how long it takes to destroy your armor, you've got a duplicate of your own vehicle just sitting here that will do nothing but act as a bullet sponge as you shoot it up, so you can see, oh well, how hard is it to kill my own vehicle with a equal vehicle, basically. Additionally, if you do have a Leviathan that you have built, you have a copy of that on here as well. That won't do anything either, but just stand there and be killed. You have an area that's fenced in over here that you can come into, and you hear that little alarm, and you'll see little battle bots will come out, and they'll fight you. They're PvE. There's not really any reward for killing them. Or you can just hit remove them by this little control station here, and they'll just disappear. But you see that there are still vehicles driving around. Those are in-game friends. If you have in-game friends already, then whatever their active vehicle is in their garage will be computer-controlled version of them. Up to 5 of them will be driving around on your test track. All right? Now, you have an option. You can approach them, and it will ask for a friendly honk, and you can honk, and you will get, as you see over there on the far left, it said Scrap Metal 3. You can get a little reward by doing a friendly honk with them. Now, sometimes they'll actually aggro each other and fight, but you can do a friendly honk and get the free rewards. You can do this every 8 hours, I believe, they populate. Or if you want to test your vehicle defenses against them, you can fight them as well. You don't have to honk, but a lot of folks don't like to get caught up in just that. But either way, whether you honk or you're supposed to honk. Oh, there you go. You can honk or you can fight them. I usually fight them, but and then where's the other one? Was it Senior Cloud? I don't think I honked it, Senior Cloud. Yep. There you go. So there you go. And then you can. The other thing about it is if you have different weapon types that you would like to test on the test track, and because rockets or autocannons, they have bullet drop. Cannons, they have bullet drop. Things like that, right? Like where they go out and they drop. Well, you want to get an idea of how high you have to aim in order to do some Kentucky windage, as they call it, basically, where you adjust your firing position, because you can't adjust the scope, you know, like on a real weapon. You have to instead aim higher in order to compensate for bullet drop. Well, you have this line right outside your garage. If you stop at this line, then you have a target at 50 meters that you can fire on. You have a target at 100 meters you can fire on. You have a target at 150, one at 200 way down there, and then one way down there at I think 300. And then these things are just decor that you can put out in your own test track all you want. But that gives you an idea of bullet drop and things like that. It lets you test out your build as far as driving. It lets you test out your build as far as shooting. Even in active battle against bots, the standard bots or the battle bots, or against in-game friends and their active build. So, with some of which may be much more powerful power score than whatever your build is. So, keep that kind of stuff in mind. The test track is also a free way, in other words, to get a little bit more scrap, a little bit more plastic, a little bit more bullets, stuff like that, whatever it is, bullet casings, whatever it is. But you'll see, as it says, the range now has 0 of 5 visitors, because right now if I drove back out there, there's none of those friends' vehicles are driving around anymore. And that's because, like I said, it updates every 8 hours, and that's just free. Those are free resources. Don't dismiss the test drive, the test track. It's free resources. You can use them for crafting. So keep that in mind as well. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to come back to, was the after the raids. Remind me again, like I said, I'm going to come back to the Awakening, okay? But what we are going to do first is we're going to knock out the remainder of our challenges. We have one raid we have to accomplish, and then the follow-on of this is going to be 2 raids, so that's going to be 3 raids we need to accomplish. That's going to finish this off. That's going to progress us toward both of these weekly challenges. The raids that we are going to accomplish, toward this weekly challenge, I should say. The raids that we are going to accomplish is going to finish off this one here, the 2 easy raids, and we'll either do 2 and 2, or we'll go ahead and finish off one of these. I'll try to finish off the plastic one so that it's out of the way. And the reason I say that way is because we have 200 fuel, and as I mentioned earlier, raids cost fuel. Hard level raids cost 60 fuel. Normal level raids cost 40 fuel. Easy level raids cost 20 fuel. Because we have 200 fuel, what we're going to do is 4 normal level raids. 4 of them. We're going to try to go for the ones that say plastic here as the reward. If we win all 4 of those, then we'll complete this weekly challenge, get that 150 engineer badges. That will be out of the way, that weekly challenge. Additionally, that will be 160 fuel for normal level raids, right? Leaving us 40 fuel, or enough at 20 fuel each for 2 easy level raids, which will accomplish this weekly challenge of winning 6 battles in easy raids. We already have 4 of 6. That'll finish that off and get us 100 more engineer badges. So that's going to be how we're going to spend our 200 free fuel. We're not going to have to dip into our own fuel that we have in storage that way, which, by the way, for those who don't know, you can accumulate your own fuel by playing these PvP matches up at the top here, as long as your vehicle is equipped with a fuel tank or a fuel barrel, or both. And you have to win the match and survive, I believe. I know you have to survive. I don't think you get fuel if the match is lost but you survived. I think you have to win and survive. I don't recall off the top of my head for whatever reason, but that's a way that you build up your own fuel and stuff like that. Yeah, with your tanks intact, yes. Okay. But we're not worried about that. We're not going to dip into our own fuel. We have some in storage, but we're not going to dip into it. I save my fuel for sometimes the game gifts you with a premium subscription for a day or something like that for whatever reason. It might be the anniversary of when Crossout was released. It might be because they had a technical issue, a few days ago, and therefore they're granting everybody, and some people weren't able to play, so today they're going to grant everybody 24 hours of premium subscription. Premium subscription is a time period where you get 50% more rewards for the things that you do. So that's when I save my fuel for. I don't just spend my own fuel out of storage to go and do raids just to do them. I wait until a time when I get a premium subscription, then I'll dip into my own fuel reserves and do as many raids as I can do, because you're getting 50% more reward for them. So again, it's all about efficiency, right? Why spend my fuel for normal rewards when I can spend my fuel for 150% rewards? Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they go boom too. So when they get shot, so sometimes it can be problematic to have those fuel tanks, especially depending on where you put them on your vehicle. So anyway, we're gonna do the raids. We've already gone over that. For my raids now, the PvP missions and the patrol mission and things like that, those scale based on your vehicle's power score. Okay, it's going to match you up in groups against. With and against folks generally in the same power score range for the most part. You know, until you get higher up, then it's a pretty broad, high-end power score range where you might be 9,000 something, 9,800 or whatever, and you might end up fighting people who are 12,000. That's not exactly evenly matched. But it's going to try. You know, that's a broad category, though, that top end of power scores. But when you're in, like, the 5,000 range or whatever, it's generally going to put you against builds that are 5,000 range or 5 to 6,000 range, things like that. So your power score matters in that case. In raids, it doesn't always equate the same way, because raids already have a difficulty level assigned to them. They have hard, normal, and easy. They have power score requirements already in order to get into those raids. So the enemies in those raids are already set. They're pretty much already set. It's not going to be based on your power score what enemies you're fighting against. All right. What is going to be affected that may change as far as the difficulty of a raid is how many people are on your team in the raid. Because, as I said before, raids can be done with 2 to 4 players. If there's at least 2 people who are queued up for the same raid, after a given period of time where it allows other people to possibly queue up for it as well, it's going to go ahead and activate that raid, because there's at least 2, and that's the minimum. It does not fill in the gaps with bots, though, unlike the arena battles. It will let just the 2 of you run that raid, if need be, okay? But if there's only 2 of you, then you're going to have... Yes, I'm on Steam. If there's only 2 of you, then they're going to have less enemies. If a third person joins, then the enemy count is going to increase a little bit. And if a fourth person joins, the enemy count is going to increase more to its maximum, because the maximum you can have is 4 people in a raid. So because of that, the enemy builds themselves, their power scores, aren't going to change. It's just the number of enemies that's going to change. Therefore, I might as well go with the highest power score I can go with for raids. Now, understandably, this particular build is not something that new folks can necessarily do. I get that. It's a 12,800 power score, you know, but it's just to prove the point that build whatever the most powerful vehicle you can build when it's time for you to go to raids, and switch to that, because it's not affecting the strength of your enemy. The only thing that's affecting how challenging that raid is going to be is whether you chose hard, normal, or easy raid, and how many people are in your team. If it's 2, 3, or 4 people, those are the things that affect how challenging that raid is going to be, not the relative strength or weakness of your vehicle. So when it's raid time, take the strongest thing you can do. You know, unless you want to test out a new build and you want to take that, go ahead. But otherwise, or if you have another point, let me backtrack one more thing and sit there and say there is one other consideration when it's raid time, is if you have a specific challenge that you want to meet, then you may want to take a build for that, okay? Because, like, if it says kill 60 opponents of the nomads with autocannons, well, then obviously you want to pick a raid where you're fighting nomads, and you want to make sure you're equipped with autocannons. It may not be your strongest build, but you want to make sure you're equipped with autocannons. Like right here, in one battle, destroy 60 parts with autocannons, complete 6 times. It says in one battle. So the way it breaks it down is Battle is the overall category. Raids and missions are subcategories of battle. All right, so if it said in one mission, destroy 60 parts, then that would mean one of these 4 blue hexagon battles up here. These all count as missions. If it said in one raid, destroy whatever, well then that's these green banners. But it didn't say that. It said in one battle. Since it says in one battle, that means missions or raids or any of that stuff. Okay? So if I wanted to go ahead and start completing this right now, I could easily destroy 60 parts with autocannons in one battle by just through the course of one raid by equipping autocannons. I could easily do that, you know. In fact, I may just do that. You know what? Instead of taking my retro build, maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. And just like this says, in one battle, destroy 2 modules. I could do that in one raid. We're going to do 6 raids, so I should be able to do this. Let's do that. All right, I'm not going to do my retro build today. I'm going to switch. This is not an effective... For anybody who's knowledgeable about the legendary cabins and stuff like that, and you see this Nova cabin on here, and you go, what? And you're blowing your brains out right now, going, why is he sitting there with this whirl in front of the Nova, and it's so ineffective? Because I don't use the Nova for the Nova ability. I'm a terrible Nova player. Foxy can tell you that. I know that's another one of my followers who regularly is in chat. Foxy will pull his hair out saying that, you know, that I don't know how to use a Nova. It's not that I don't know how to use a Nova. I never think about it, and I'm not going to do it. No, you're not too late for the stream, Moogle. Yes, that you are completely too late. We're done. Right now, you're watching a replay that's responding to you. No, it's 1 hour and 7 minutes the stream has been going. It is scheduled for noon to 2 Eastern Standard Time. So it's scheduled for 2 hours. I routinely go past that. So it's not a big deal. But of course, you're always welcome, Moogles. I did not do that. I have not done that. I haven't done any raids yet. We're about to do raids. And there is no War of Fire. Also. But anyway, anybody who knows anything about this particular legendary cabin with this blue thing floating in front of it or whatever, that energy source and all that stuff, will know that I'm using this cabin wrong. But am I? Because the reality of it is I'm using the cabin just for the 12 energy points that it has, and the fact that it happens to fit here better than the other 12 energy point cabin that I have. So it's just a design issue in my case. I didn't specifically pick it because of its special feature. But we're going to use this instead of the retchers for my... you're not new here. I did. I threw that on there so that I could have people say hello with their acorns. You know? I know. Isn't it nice? It's nice. You're not new here. You're not fooling anyone, Moogles. Stop it. You're misappropriating into noob's world, basically, there. All right, so what we're going to do is instead, in order to meet that requirement, that daily challenge or weekly challenge seasonal requirement of destroying 60 parts with autocannons and destroying 2 modules, we'll get this done too as we do this. What we are going to do is use... Foxy has not piped up, so I don't assume Foxy is here. No. What we're going to do is we're going to use autocannons. It's that particular build that I show here has 3 autocannons. It has a Whirl autocannon in the front and 2 AC-50 Storm autocannons in the back. And then just for a goof, it's got an LM-54 cord in the middle. But we're going to use that to conduct our raids so that we can knock all this stuff out extremely efficiently. Okay? It's still an effective build. It's not as effective as the retchers are. The retchers are, you know, much better. But we're going to do it anyway. It'll be fun. Okay, so we're going to start with normal raids with plastic as the reward. If I click on that little icon there, it'll highlight just the one that meets that criteria. And guess what it's called? Guess what it's called, Moogles? You know what it is. Dramatic read. Here we go. The War for
fire.
Yep. Against Dawn's Children in Rock City, which is great because I like the desert maps personally. I like my Mad Max post-apocalyptic theme things to be deserty looking, you know, real wasteland looking. So I prefer the desert maps. That's what we're doing against Dawn's Children. You can't find the fire emote? Oh no, hot Dorito instead? Okay, so as you can see in the upper left, that's the list of the folks who are in this raid with me, and there are 3 of us. I'm going to sit back and snipe with this build because the AC-50 Storms, the 2 autocannons that are on the back here, they do more damage the longer range that you are from your target. That one. That's the hologram I have on it. Pretty slick, huh? Yeah. Alright, you got that hit. We're good. We're good. Let's go protect the truck in the middle. Alright, so the way this particular battle, or this mission goes, this raid goes, is... Oh, now there's 4 of us. Okay, so that's going to affect the number of enemies that come. The way that guy's got 3 whirls going for him. That's fine. We're good. The way this raid goes is we defeated the enemies that were guarding 2 specific generators, and then we activated the or turned off the generators or whatever. Now we are protecting this truck that's sitting right here against a few waves of enemies for a given period of time. The time period is in the upper right, just above me. So we got like 3 minutes basically left to protect this truck. At the end of that time period, the truck will go mobile and it will drive to the other side of the map, and we will escort it, and it will be attacked by other bots along the way. When it gets to the end of its destination at the other end of the map, then some more bots will be spawned along with a boss vehicle, and we will fight those off. This guy with his freaking force fields, man. There you go. Now what you got? Now what you got? No weapon for you on force field through that. I'll hit your Apollo. Never mind. I'll just hit your cabin. Screw it. Alright. So anyway. That's the way
the war for fire
is conducted. And I just like the title of it, so I think it deserves a dramatic read like that. Oh, launching retchers. I like them. I'm jealous. Normally I would be launching... I'd be running a dual retcher build for this, and I would be quite happy. But I'm not. I'm not running dual retchers right now. So... He's running a retcher, though. Looks like he's only got 1. No, he's got 2. He's got 2. Alright, we got enemies coming down off the bridge over here. Yeah, you just turned around right in time to get zapped by that guy. Now he's got no weapons. Yeah, the retcher dude's gonna get the high score probably. Oh, that guy's got a retcher too, it looks like. Because retchers do good damage. They do really good damage. I know I am excessively happy with my retchers. I didn't even let him come down off the cliff. Alright, the vehicle is in motion. The truck behind us. Here we go. There goes the truck. We're supposed to be escorting that instead of pushing each other around. But hey, you know, you do you, boo. You can just die. Alright, there's going to be a few more enemies spawned along the way. One or two here or there. Going to be somebody coming in, yep, up from up here. Stop it. And now there is a boss spawned. Oh, and then there's this guy too. See, now you have no weapons. Now what? Still happy you came? Ow. What the hell do you think you're doing? Nobody asked you. Somebody's shooting the crap out of me. Boom. Alright. So I feel like that's going to have qualified for some of those challenges. Obviously, it completes the raid, which gets us there, wins a battle in normal raids with plastic as a reward, completes another daily challenge, etc. And as far as seasonal is concerned, yep, in one battle, destroy 60 parts with autocannons. Just did it. Like I said, destroyed 2 modules also. Did that. And earned the patches required for the other. So if we hop on back here, as we're in queue, level 34 in the season. We look at that seasonal challenge. Yep, we got some of those things accomplished, like I said. So I'm just going to run the autocannon. It's still an effective build. It's just not my 2 Retcher builds, so. And especially if the mission is one that accommodates being able to sit back and stop pushing me, dude. You want to get up there, you go right on ahead. I'm sniping. So, Dove, have you learned anything today from my tutorial themed kind of stream so far? What's up, Foxy? Moogles was asking about you earlier to see if you were on. Glad to see you. How you doing today? Oh, not so good. Uh-oh. 2 days now. What? Oh, no. Woo! Thank goodness I landed right. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to pry into your personal or whatever, but I mean, if it's something that you're willing to share, what's going wrong? What's the problem? But if you're not, if it's personal, then that's fine. I'm totally not asking for that. Absolutely. That's great. Would love to hear. Would love to hear. The main thing I would love to hear is if you try out some of these things that I point out, you know, that I kind of hopefully opened your eyes to or whatever here, and you find that you enjoy them. you know, and you go, hey, you know what? I can dig this. You know, it adds another dimension to the game that I'm not familiar with, and therefore it's pretty cool. You know, that's really the best I can hope for. Just increase the fun factor, you know? Try to give you that many more ways that you can play the game in an enjoyable manner. Because sometimes you want to play, and I mean, even if you're skilled, everybody has off days. And sometimes you just go, God, I'm just not doing anything right today. You know, and then you go, well, I want to feel some success. I want to feel like I'm not just totally terrible. So you go, all right, well, maybe I'll go pick on some bots. You know, what the hell? Why not? Oh, a harassment experience. Oh, with a player in this game? In Crossout? Enlightenment rocket on the player and trying to solve his problem engagement, but I feel I talked too long. Oh, that sucks. It was PvP though, right? That's what you're talking about? Yeah, and again, not PvP? Oh, Bedlam. Okay. Well, Bedlam's PvP. I mean, it is. I mean, it's everybody fighting each other. So, it's players versus players. Yeah, that's part of the problem. We were talking about that earlier. Trader and I were talking about it and stuff, and it's we were kind of talking about it and saying that's one of the problems is that and I was mentioning it earlier too, is the seal clubbing and all that kind of stuff, that those kind of things are a real negative that can hurt the game. And that's where I think if they advertise, or if they highlight it at least to people, that you do have other options. You know, you can still play the game and have fun and destroy cars and all that stuff, but it not have to be in a PvP manner. Then I think that might appeal to certain elements of the audience, of the gaming audience, just because I mean, there are folks who, you know, who make the player versus player experience a negative one, and that hurts the community. You know, they don't care, but for those of us who like to play with others, you know, and cooperatively and all this kind of stuff or whatever, I like having the idea of, you know, the whole game not being a negative experience, and therefore, I think the community should definitely encourage, you know, a community growth. And welcome to the party, pal. Hey, what's going on? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I apologize, but I'm just gonna say cat for now. And thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Definitely. Welcome to Secret Squirrel Games community. Hopefully you'll get something out of the stream. I try to do my streams in a relatively tutorial fashion, though I'm not like top boss player or anything like that by any means. But I still try to keep people going in a positive manner in their experience with the game as much as possible. So welcome to the community. We try to keep a friendly community here. If I can't answer a question, if you have questions about about the game of Crossout and I can't answer them, feel free to ask anyway, just because I have a pretty welcoming and capable community that is willing to help you, more than likely, and I'm sure most of them have the types of experience that can answer most of your questions. To armor a vehicle, if you just started, you're kind of limited in your options, to be honest. But it really depends on what type of. See, that's the thing is it's an open-ended question because you have different types of vehicles that you might want to play. Do you want to play a faster, whip around the battlefield, quick vehicle, or do you want to play, a vehicle that is heavily armored and crawls around the battlefield as a tank, but may not go very fast. So you would need more specifics. You kind of try to figure out that stuff. Machine guns, like regular machine guns, like LM54 cords and stuff for far away, they're more of a medium range, at best, close to medium range weapon. They don't get any benefit for being far away. If you can advance to building, like a Mughals would want me to call it a Rapapa, the rapier autocannon, or and then the upgrade from that, the AC-50 Storm autocannon, which is available from the Nomads, for example. That actually gives you benefit for being at longer range because it gives you more. It gives you more damage as you get further away from your enemy. So, what takes a lot of power points? And it's good to talk about armor. We're talking about the pieces that have pass-through attribute. That's true. That's true. Okay, so what Trader is referring to there is that when you look at your storage, and everybody's storage is going to be different, obviously. It's depending on what weapons you have there and everything. Your cabin, I have mine sorted by type. So I have my cabins first, then my frames, then my weapons, and all this kind of stuff or whatever. When you start looking at the pieces and parts that make up the majority of the rest of your weapon and things like that, or your vehicle, excuse me, and things like that, you see parts like this, like the buggy floor and the engine cover and things like that. These all have like a grill pattern to them. They're you can see through them. You can also shoot through those. Like when the enemy shoots rounds, now not like cannon fire and stuff like that. That's not going to go through that. That's going to hit that. But like bullets and stuff are going to go through that and hit whatever's on the other side. So if you have those on the outside of your cabin, you effectively have no real armor. Yes, you do have the power score, and the individual part has its own durability in case of, like I said, getting hit by a cannon or something like that, or the explosion from a cannon round hitting something behind it. It's going to only be able to take so much damage, or buy it or something like that. But from bullets and stuff like that, they're going to go right through that and hit your cabin. That provides you no actual armor. So you need to be aware of that. A lot of these early lunatic items and stuff like that, the buggy type of equipment, for example, these things are shoot-through parts. A lot of these are. So you can just tell by how spacious they are, like the build, like this build, you can see it, the dryer, it really provides no actual protection of its own. It increases your vehicle's overall durability only because it's there, but it's not going to stop bullets at all. So obviously when you get into better parts available to you, yes, van parts are good, especially for earlier level of early level play. Van parts are something that you get accessibility to pretty early on, and those are the majority of your low level armor really is going to probably come from van parts. Another benefit to the shoot through parts especially is that if you have weapons, all right, so first off, and people are gonna argue this, is that you're going to have weapons that you can mount on shoot-through parts, and people are going to disagree with this. Some people are, because they say that my experience still is different, but some folks are saying that in the latest update, the AI is shooting at weapons also. And in my experience, the AI primarily focuses on getting right to your cabin as much as it can. It's going to shoot to your cabin. So you want to protect your cabin because that's what's it's going to shoot through. And you want to raise your weapons up higher above your cabin so they don't get shot off incidentally just as the enemy's trying to shoot to the cabin. And in doing so, you want to use parts like this, shoot-through parts, in order to space those weapons up and against PvE, because the AI is going to shoot, and it's going to not be able to hit. It's going to shoot right through the support structure that you're using to hold your weapons, instead of shooting the things that are holding your weapons, in which case then your weapon will fall off. So those are just considerations. Like I said, my experience is it still appears that the AI is shooting primarily for the cabin, period. Some people say that in the latest update, the AI does go for weapons. I haven't seen that still yet. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just haven't noticed. I don't know. But that's just the way it is for me. But the cannon takes a lot of power point. It does. It does. Yeah, absolutely. There's weapons that take more, of course, but yeah, it does. Yeah, nomad parts are good. Medium health, medium weight. Sure, if you have access to them yet. But if you just started, you still got to get through at least 10th level, I think, right? With the engineers before you can access nomad scavengers or lunatics. One of those, right? No armor, one shotgun. Well, was he fast? Is that what he was doing? He was whipping around you and you weren't able to... Because there's other considerations. You got to pay attention to, the turret or the turn speed of your weapons, things like that. All kinds of different stuff. Like I said, there's different play styles. Some people like to play just a really light vehicle that just flies around the map and just is hard to focus on and shoot, especially if they can get an enemy that has a real slow turn speed weapon. Then they're just going to whip around and you can't keep up with them, and they're just shooting you the whole time. So they said that they're new, Bigfoot, so I'm assuming really low power score, AFK people playstyle, that I don't know about. I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly in that. But yeah, yeah, I don't know if that helps you, if that information helps you, Kat. But if you have more specific questions, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to answer them. And like I said, you can see that people in chat are doing their best to answer as well to help provide you with some information. So, which is very much appreciated, chat. Thank you very much for that. And also, by the way, for anybody who I haven't greeted, let me go ahead and say that. Take care, Iron King. Thanks for popping in. Always good to see you. For anybody I haven't greeted yet, let me go ahead and greet and do the appropriate greeting. Welcome to Secret Squirrel Games. I am Secret Squirrel. I am your host, and we are knocking out our daily and weekly challenges and answering some questions as well, because I do always tag my stream as a tutorial as well, so I am very open to noobs asking questions. I play like a noob. I'm not a noob, but I play like one. So I feel you. Quite often at least. Anyway, for seasonal challenges, we only have 2 of these left, and we're already halfway through one of those 2. So we're doing good. We're knocking out the thing with the autocannons here with that autocannon build in the raids. So instead of using my retro build, I'm using the autocannons because we have this challenge here, and I'm going to go ahead and knock it out today, even though I have like 3.5 days to do it, or whatever, 3 days to do it. This other one here, we're going to knock that out pretty easy today as well, just doing the course of these other raids that we're doing. We still have one more raid for a daily challenge, and that will accomplish both of these daily challenges at the same time. And additionally, we still have 120 fuel in our tank, so that's going to be 2 more normal difficulty level raids, as well as 2 easy difficulty level raids, because the 2 easies are going to knock out this weekly challenge right here, which will get us 100 engineer badges, and the 2 normal difficulty level raids, if we choose the ones with plastic as the reward, continue to do that. We'll complete this weekly challenge and get us 150 more engineer badges there. And for anybody who might be new to the game, the engineer badges are usable on the badge exchange for resources, or if you save up enough, you can get these loot containers with them as well. So that's just a way to do that. Why do I do normal and easy raids? Okay, so I don't like to dip into my own fuel unless I have a premium subscription for some reason. Then I dip into my own fuel storage in order to do raids. Therefore, I'm only doing the free fuel, the 200 free fuel that it tops off every day. I use all 200. It tops off 200 at midnight Greenwich Mean Time. I use that the next day on my dailies. With 200 fuel, what I look at it as is 4 normals normal level difficulty raids at 40 fuel each, being 160 fuel, and then 2 easy difficulty level raids at 20 fuel each, being the remaining 40 fuel, and that's your 200 fuel. Now, I could do 1 hard, 2 normals, and 3 easies, I guess. I could do that. But the main reason I was doing it is because the normal difficulty level raids grant... Here, I'm just going to click this real quick. Obviously, you can get copper or you can get plastic. Those go toward the weekly challenges, which I do want to accomplish those for the engineer badges. The ones that we're working on, which is complete 10 normal difficulty and 10 normal difficulty with plastic as a reward, and 10 normal difficulty with copper as a reward. There we go. And additionally, you get coupons. And the coupons here are nice. You hit 10K. The coupons here, and yes, cheers, Foxy. Enjoy a cold one. I only have a Diet Dr. Pepper in my hand, but I'll take it anyway. You like that? I added just a little something for people to spin their acorns on every now and then. Help spur up a little bit of, interactivity in the chat. But the 10 normal difficulty, or the normal difficulty level raids, the reason I do them is because you get the 10 coupons for each victory, and you get a total of 20 coupons in the course of the day. So after 2 of those, yes, I'm maxed out. The remaining 2 are just to progress toward the weekly challenge, basically. Because I do want to ensure that I do accomplish these, and that way if I take a day off or whatever, and I don't do dailies, I still want to have these accomplished. Well, that's going to require 20 normal difficulty level raids over the course of the week, at least, right? And then I do the easies because, obviously, again, it accomplishes this one to get these engineer badges. I only have to do 6 of those in the course of the week, but each day you get 3 coupons for each win for a total of for a max of 6 in the course of the day as well. 20 hard raids with free fuel and get 1,000 engineer badges. 20 hard raids with free fuel. Hard raids with electronics as the reward or copper as the reward. 62 a day. I could do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. To be honest, I think a big part of it has been because I have been also kind of showing folks on this stream, because of the tutorial nature and the getting people to go along with me for because I try to play with viewers and I try to show that the game is accessible by lower level players or less equipped players. And I think hard raids don't have as guaranteed a chance of success, for other folks, to be able to play. I want to show them that the challenge on the normal and easy is easier to manage. Granted, I do it with a high power score vehicle usually anyway, so I would be able to do that on hard, but it's something to consider. Maybe I'll try that next week, just for a goof, just switch things up. I'll take the recommendation, Bigfoot. I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'm not going to push it aside. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes total sense. I really hadn't looked at it that way. Hadn't done the math of doing the hard ones. I had done the math of the normal and easies, but at this point in this week, considering I've already progressed where I've progressed, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this one, doing this way. But I'll try it. I'll try your idea next week, if I remember. I'm bad about that kind of thing, but I do intend to try it. Nice. Oh, get that dance on, Sago. Woo! Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sago. Very, very nice. Thanks for the sub. Every bit the pod. Yes. Very much appreciated, Sago. So yeah, I'll try the hard missions. That's a good recommendation, Bigfoot. You know what? I say I'm terrible about remembering these kind of things. I'm going to write it down. That's what I'm going to do. And then I got to remember that I wrote it down and where I wrote it down and to look at it. You know what? I'm not going to write it in the pad because I know what will inevitably happen is I will close the pad and then I won't look at it. So I'm going to write it instead on an actual, just a piece of paper that I leave here on the desk in front of me, so that I will look at it. All right. Stream. And I will say, do hard raids next week. That's good. All right. Easy peasy. I will see this every day. There you go. That's there. It is. Now that it's written down on this high class napkin right here, that has gone into the annals of history. That is because it is recorded now in hard copy format. All right, but I do appreciate it, Bigfoot. I am going to do it. I am going to definitely try it. All right, so before I used to say that it was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years or whatever is what I thought, because I was mistaken. I was misspeaking. To be honest, with overseas deployments, sometimes my concept of time in the past few years has been a little off, because I sit there and I think about something. Oh, the last time I saw this was such and such, and that doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Oh, that was 5 years ago. Oh, crap. Or I think, oh, that was ages ago, and it really wasn't that long ago, because I've done a lot of traveling and things like that. I looked into my file system and discovered that it was 2017, I think, is the earliest file I see for the game, or late 2016, I think. Actually, late 2016 was the earliest stuff. So it's been a while. I have been playing. I was not playing as knowledgeably in the beginning. In the beginning, I was playing very casual. I only viewed it as kind of a time kill. A little de-stress time kill.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Thank you, Dove. Much appreciated. Follows are always appreciated. Welcome to the community. It was just a time kill, basically. Like, I would just say, I've got an hour to kill, and so literally I'll take an hour to kill, to blow up other cars and stuff like that, and have fun doing it. And that was that. But that's all it really was, and then after a while I started thinking, you know what, maybe I'll start learning some of the aspects of this game. I'll start figuring out, because I didn't even mess with the factions. I progressed a little bit just for the free stuff that you kind of get as you level up with the factions, but I wasn't messing with the workbenches or anything. I wasn't trying to improve. I was playing low power score PvP, and that was it. I would just log in, fight some battles, lose most of the time, half the time, occasionally get luckier or something like that or whatever, and win some games, and just consider that that's all the game was. That's all I thought of the game as. It was only more recently, in the last, I don't know, year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, that I've started paying more attention to, about a year and a half, I guess. But I started paying more attention to factions and workbenches and all this stuff. I'm not the kind of person I never threw money at the game. I never threw money at the game until 2 seasons ago. Finally, I bought a season, then I bought last season, and now I bought this season. That's it. I've paid for those 3 seasons. I've spent $30 now. But prior to those seasons, I had never thrown money in the game. I got tons of hours of playing without ever throwing a dime at the game, which is another benefit that I always point out to people. This is a completely free game, free to download, free to play. You can get hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of gameplay out of a game that you've paid nothing for. And it's constantly evolving and changing and stuff like that. Not changing in as much as that you don't know the game anymore after the last update or anything like that, or they screwed everything up with the last update. Nothing like that. But I'm just saying they're adding stuff. They're adding stuff. They're working on it still. So it's always good in that respect. But you don't have to spend money toward it. And another thing I always point out to people is that it doesn't have to be considered pay to win. I just consider it pay for a different experience. That's the way I view it. Different people view it their own ways. They phrase it their own ways, whatever. Because of the power score rankings and the matchmaking system, if you pay and you get access to more powerful weapons than you would normally have available to you as you nice, there you go, much appreciated, and you have more access to weapons that you wouldn't necessarily have access to through the course of your normal reputation increasing with a faction, then you're just opening the door to a different game, you know, because you're going to increase your power score, you're going to be matched up against people with that power score for the most part, and then you're just playing a different battle, but you're still matched up generally evenly for the most part. You know, I mean, it depends, but generally evenly, and it would have been the same thing had you stayed at a low power score. You'd just be playing with low power score weapons and stuff like that. That's all. So I like that aspect of it too, and the other key point that I always focus on whenever I'm streaming, and especially when I'm talking to folks who are either new to the game or are considering the game, maybe checking it out and have not purchased the game themselves yet, is the other factor is that the great thing about it is while there is a grind, if you don't want to spend money, the grind is just playing the game. It's not like another game where you have to take your time away from combat to go grind. You came here to shoot cars, build your own little car up and go shoot cars and stuff like that. Well, that's how you grind for resources, is by doing the thing that you came here to do anyway. So that's a great thing, a great aspect of the game as well. But nevertheless, hard raids next week. That's been noted, Bigfoot. Definitely. Thank you for that suggestion. Yeah, yes, you can get everything without putting money in it. Like I said, then you're just, like with anything else, you're just trading off the grind for the opportunity to not have to spend cash instead. And Sego, like I said, that is very much appreciated. I appreciate the sub, definitely. Okay, so we have a couple more normal difficulty level raids with plastic as a reward if we want to go ahead and get those 150 engineer badges, and then we're going to do 2 easy raids with 6 to get this win 6 battles in easy raids to get this 100 more. All right, take care, Moogles. Thanks a lot for popping in. Always good to have you. So we are going to see how much longer do we still have this. 8 more minutes. So we're going to do another session of
The War for Fire.
Foxy, if you're still there, that one was for you. Because Moogles couldn't find the fire emote earlier. So instead he gave me hot Doritos emotes. It's Moogles. So, for those of you who are new tuning in, welcome to Secret Squirrel Games. I am Secret Squirrel, your host. We are knocking out weekly raids right now. We are doing a normal difficulty level raid with plastic as the reward in order to complete that weekly challenge of 10 of those for 150 engineer badges currently. We are also using an autocannon build specifically to accomplish one of the seasonal weekly challenges of destroying 60 parts in a battle with autocannons. So once we're done with these raids, we should meet that requirement for the autocannon build at the same time as accomplishing for the autocannon raid. Challenge, at the same time as accomplishing the 10 normal difficulty raids with plastic as a reward completion. I know it's a mouthful, right? But I got it out eventually. How's everybody doing today, first off? Hopefully everybody is having a good day. I don't know I haven't looked at weather. Oh, no, you don't get to shoot me with that bright, flashy thing. I haven't looked at weather patterns around. I know before, of course, Texas had that bad cold snap, but it has recovered since then. Nobody invited you up here. This is my perch, dude. You don't get to just come up here. Go find your own spot. Yeah, see? That guy knew. He just went to go find his own spot. Here I come to save the day. I'll let you have that guy. You got him already. I'll take that one, though. Haha. Oh, looks like I'm dropping a few frames here. Apologize for any choppy video aspect there. Good to have everybody in the chat today. Hopefully you're all having a good day. I know nobody felt the need to respond there, but that's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. It's no big deal. I'm just talking to myself over here. It is good to have you all here with me today, though. If you're new to Crossout, please let me know. I'd love to tell you something about the game if you're unfamiliar with it. If you are familiar with the game, but have some questions, feel free to ask. I do tag my stream as a tutorial. The whole point being, oh man, my world is gone. The whole point being that I'm willing to answer questions, and if I can't answer them myself, then I have folks in my stream chat who probably can. And we got a lot of good folks, knowledgeable folks who pop in every now and then, and so it's great to have them and their expertise available as well. We try to build up the community as much as possible for Crossout. There are always stories of some toxic elements, but I mean, it's the internet. It is going to have what it has. It's going to have the toxic players, unfortunately. All we can do is hope to improve that by creating and fostering a more positive gaming community where we're all here to have fun anyway, right? So let's just hope we can accomplish that in a more appealing manner, for the game and the community in general. Of course, Sega, I understand. Lurking is welcome as well. I appreciate the viewership, whether you're lurking or actively involved. Please don't feel pressure to be actively involved just because I ask, for people to contribute or whatever. I'm not trying to pressure anybody to. Just saying you should feel welcome to contribute to the chat if you want to. That's all I'm saying. Oh, sorry, dude. I was backing up into you the whole time. Alright, so we got 1 minute and 17 seconds left to continue protecting this truck that's behind me. And then it will go mobile to the other side of the map. And we will protect it along its route against spawning enemies. And when it gets to its destination at the far end of the map on the other side, we will fight the spawned enemies that pop up then, as well as a boss. I was just checking, just making sure that, walls were still solid. And they are. So, that's good. That's thumbs up to the design crew. So, for keeping walls as an obstacle, as a viable obstacle. There we go. Truck is on the move. Stop it. Stop shooting at me. I'm shooting at you. Why did you just... I got no front wheels now. That's annoying. That's not great. I'm not a fan of it. My whole front end's gone. My whole front end. Can you imagine just seeing a car just driving around like this on the road or something like that? No front end at all. It'd be crazy. You can get away from me. Stop it. Oh, that guy's not fun. I don't like that at all. Hello, I spawned right behind you. You didn't even see me coming. Ha ha ha. Paint. Yeah, I'm a hoarder of everything. If you look at my resources and stuff like that, I mean, like my scrap and copper even, I'm at like 20-something thousand. I just... because I never can decide what I want to build. Gotta help get rid of that guy. I don't even see the other dude. Alright, I'm gonna go see the other guy. Where is he? Where is he? He's gotta be around here. There he is. Alright, specialist. 130,000. Nice. That's crazy. Now you can just sit there and think about what you did, specialist. Alright. So, if we close that out, and we look in here, we have one more plastic, but that mission has changed because these... Alright, so, again, for the noobs, with regard to these raids, as I discussed before, remember I said that there were 3 stars are hard, 2 stars are normal, 1 stars are easy, and there are 2 of each at any given time on the map, and the map locations are marked by the banners that are here, and each of these banners, at the top it says what raid type it is, whatever the little quest is, basically, whatever your objective will be. There will be a flavor text paragraph in the middle that will kind of describe story-wise what that is. But then the mission parameters there will state the difficulty level of the raid, who you're going up against, and what map it's at, right? And then at the very, very bottom, well, just below the flavor paragraph, let's say there are the requirements for the raid, what level you have to be, and if you have a power score requirement, for example, that would be listed in there. On easies, there's not a power score requirement, and what the fuel cost is. Then there's the reward in both a resource and a number of coupons that you can attain from that level of difficulty of raids. So for easy level raids, you can attain a total of 6 coupons during the course of a day, okay? But by 6 coupons, you earn, what I mean by that is you earn 3 for each victory at that raid level, and then it's a maximum of 6 that you can earn for easy level raids during the course of a day. So once you do 2, you're capped out as far as the coupons are concerned. You'll still earn copper in this case, but not coupons. Now, the easy level raids, like I said, there's 2 of them. Well, first off, all the raids, at the very bottom, it says new raids will be available in however long. All the raids rotate every hour on the hour, okay? And what I mean by that is they rotate 1, 2, or 3 of the parameters of the raid. Looking at that same raid, what I'm referring to is the raid type, the name of it, data theft, for example, on this one. The enemy, nomads, and the map, bridge. 1, 2, or 3 of those things will rotate for an easy level raid with copper as the reward. Now, as it happens to be, both of the easy level raids always offer only copper as the reward. However, when you get to the normal level raids, one offers copper, and as we know, since we've been playing it, one offers plastic as the reward. There will always be a normal level raid offering copper as the reward. There will always be a normal level raid offering plastic as the reward for the satisfaction of those weekly challenges. Likewise, there will always be a hard level raid with copper as the reward and a hard level raid with electronics as the reward. Okay? But the difficulty of the So like take this hard level raid with electronics as the reward. At the top of the next hour, it could change raid type. It may not be frontier defense. It could change map. It might be the same as this, or it could change enemy or any combination thereof. So it might switch. It still could be a hard level raid with electronics as the reward, and instead be perimeter breach against lunatics at the Lost Coast. It's just going to be a hard level version of that. That's all. Or this one that's here, this normal level difficulty raid with plastic as the reward, might switch to over here and be at the factory. Not necessarily be Steel Cradle. It could be a different mission. It could be data theft over here or whatever, and against scavengers, or it could be against a different enemy, but still be at the factory map. So any 1, 2, or 3 of those factors at the top, the map, the enemy, and the raid type, are going to change at every hour on the hour. But there's still going to be, a normal level raid with plastic as a reward. There's still going to be a hard level raid with electronics as a reward somewhere on the map. Okay? And there's always going to be 2 hard, 2 normal, and 2 easy level raids. So there's always going to be 6 raids available of the green banners, in other words. Okay? So what we still have left, we can go ahead and finish off one more normal level raid with plastic as the reward in order to get this 150 engineer badges. And we click that. Right now, currently that has switched. That is no longer the same ones that we were doing because the hour just changed 5 minutes ago or whatever, 6 minutes ago. And now it is against lunatics on the Lost Coast map, and it's called Perimeter Breach. So we're going to do that as our next normal level, difficulty level raid with plastic as the reward in order to cap off that weekly requirement of getting 10 of those for 150 engineer badges. All right? And we're going to have a sip of the Diet Dr. Pepper as we go. So I hope everybody is doing well. I mean, I know not everybody contributes in the chat, and that's fine. If you want to lurk, or if you're busy doing other things, that's perfectly fine. But I just do want to accentuate the point that you are all, of course, welcome to do chat, welcome to contribute in chat, and I do try to interact with my chat as much as possible because I am not some big streamer that can ignore chat and like that. I don't have 1,000 people viewing or anything like that where you can just completely disregard chat and just continue doing my thing. I will engage, of course, with chat. So, and if, like I said, if you're new to the game of Crossout, you have any questions, or if you're just watching Crossout and are considering the game, I encourage you to get it. If nothing else, because it is 100% free, you have nothing to lose. You don't have to throw any money at the game in order to play it and have some fun. It can be casual as you want it to be, or it can be pretty in-depth if you'd like it to be, because you can get involved in playing the market to make some in-game profit. You can get involved in crafting all kinds of goods and going into high-end battles, but you don't have to. You can play low power score and just keep battling and just have fun with it. You can definitely do that. And if you're not good at PvP or are intimidated by PvP or just get frustrated by PvP, there is a PvE element. I try to remind people of this and make sure everybody knows that. Market's very hard nowadays. Yeah, I think some things. Market corridor update. Is that the thing that added the graph and all that stuff? You know, all the graph information, kind of like Crossout DB has. I don't really play the market. I mean, I sell some things for a little bit of profit, but I don't really play. I wouldn't consider that playing the market, per se. Sell things for a maximum or minimum. Yeah, okay, so you're talking about where it limits you if you don't have the premium subscription or whatever it is, stuff like that. Where it says, yeah, you can only sell for this or whatever. You have to upgrade if you want to do that. Is that the one you're talking about? Because I've run across that a few times. That's a bit annoying. Oh, it limits no matter what. Okay, well, that sucks too. But yeah, but it was interesting nowadays when you... Oh, I didn't queue up for this. Why haven't I queued up? I apologize. I thought I was queued up. But it is interesting that when you click on something now, it shows a graph. Well, it didn't have a chance to load there. But it shows a graph of the sales and things like that. For those who really do want to get into playing the market somewhat, or at least, or whatever, there is an external website called CrossoutDB. This is not what I intended to do. I am somehow in the wrong battle. Alright, well, I'm in PvP instead. Oh, well, this is a wrong map. I'm not going to be that kind of guy, though, who... Well, at least this didn't cost my fuel. I'm not going to be that kind of guy who just blows up because I didn't want to be in this battle. So this is not efficient use of my time, 100%. This is just me putzing around. Yeah. No stealth for you. I'm just going to get killed instead because this guy's got super auto fire. And of course he's under me, so that even makes it worse. I like the fact that my melee weapons do no good. Yeah, now where are you going? Blow off the front end of your vehicle, at least a little bit. Some of it. Yeah, I know. I didn't intend to be in a PvP battle. Somehow I was paying more attention to talking about it instead of paying attention to what I was selecting, apparently. Is he got a buzzsaw just scraping the ground the whole time? Alright, like I said, I did not intend to be in that battle, and I still ended up 4th. That's not too bad, I guess. Anyway, what I intended to do, of course, was this. The last normal raid with plastic as the reward. The perimeter breach mission. That's what I intended to be in instead, so we're going to knock that out. Yeah, absolutely. I understand about the market. It's kind of strange, but like I said, CrossoutDB is an external database, like a market analysis. Website that some people use to help them play the market. It'll break down the current price and what it would cost you to craft an item instead of buying it and all this kind of stuff. So for those who are really into that, it helps them determine how they like to what prices they want to sell an item for and things like that, or buy an item at. Yeah, at least we got the win, I guess, right? So, I mean, it helps. Alright. Come on. I don't even see them. Oh, there they are. There you go. That works for me. Alright. Should be more spawning right up here. Oh, never mind, they're here. Ah. Alrighty. Boom. What's a weapon you really want to try? Reapers? Or the incinerator. The guy lobbing fuel tanks. Yeah, incinerator. And I ran right into the wall because, you know. Yeah, I hate that. I hate fuses. Hate fuses. Now we got the whole front end of my vehicle blown off. Between all those fuses around and that guy's self-destructing on me. Well, I foresee a... I guess there's a rocket launcher back there. Oh, here comes mines. I was wondering when they were going to happen because we hadn't come across any yet. I'd really prefer you don't knock me into them. Well, I was in a better position before, and then you... now I can't... Weapons weren't able to angle down enough because of the way he knocked me around. Oh, everybody wants to knock me off the target. There, ouch. There we go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'll be dead shortly anyway, so whatever. There we go. Oh, that's not good. Oh, you're just gonna park up on me, huh? Now what you got? All right. The question is, will I survive? I doubt it. I only have 85 life left. I'll have to respawn. But sometimes I kind of take situations like this and I think, oh, I want to make this a personal challenge. You know, to survive. We still got the boss fight and... Oh, yeah, and then that guy. Never mind. He just said, F your personal challenge. Which was rude, by the way. So now this wants me to pick up this cargo, but I don't really have to. Especially if I'm going to sit back. As long as somebody on the team has the cargo, then we can go to the gate. We can go back to the front where we spawned. In this mission, for those who are unfamiliar with, thank you. I love you. Just running allies into walls. For this raid battle, yeah, you go to the back, you fight enemies, you pick up cargo, and then you run back to the front, back to where you spawned, and then it spawns some enemies and a boss. Oh yeah, porcupines would be great on that. I don't have porcupines, but yeah, porcupines would be awesome on that, on perimeter breach. You just lay fire arrows everywhere, you know? Oh, I'm sure. You know what, Bigfoot? I'm thinking about it, and I think partly in answer to your question about why I didn't do the hard missions, the hard raids. I mean, partly, like I said, was because I wanted to show things that are accessible by relatively new, players and stuff like that. But I think partly because I was probably a little bit intimidated by hard. I figured they were probably gonna kick my ass a little bit more than than I wanted. I wanted something that would be a little bit easier to breeze through. So I don't know. I think I've tried them before, but I don't think I had my retro build back then when I did it, and I think I did get my butt kicked, and that's probably hung in the back of my head the whole time. But now I don't think I've tried it with the retro build, so I might have more success anyway. But we'll see. So anyway, what I did just do was complete the 10 battles of normal raids with plastic as the reward. So got that 150 engineer badges. I do have this hanging over me still to complete 4 normal raids, 4 more normal raids with copper as the reward in order to complete this 10 battles normal raids with copper as the reward weekly challenge for another 150 engineer badges. But that can be done another day. No problem. We are going to finish up these 6 battles in easy raids though. We only have to do 2 more of these. And I have the 40 fuel, exactly what is necessary for it. So if I come over here, I got 2 options. I got Steel Cradle, which is if you are with a group of folks who know what they're doing and have very powerful vehicles, Steel Cradle is the fastest raid to get done. Because it doesn't have a time limit, it doesn't have a certain number of waves or anything like that. You control the pace of... I mean, it does have a time limit, as far as you only have X amount of time to accomplish the different stages of it, but it doesn't have a time limit that you have to last out. Like, it's not like defend this for 5 minutes. Well, then you're stuck there for 5 minutes. No, it's not like that. And you and your team control the pace of this, and if you have powerful vehicles and people who know what they're doing, Steel Cradle, you can breeze through Steel Cradle very fast. So it's the fastest of the raids to accomplish in that respect, potentially. If you don't, it can be very hard, especially if you barely are, like if you're low level, because it says level 4 is the only requirement. If you're low level, Steel Cradle can be extremely hard. When I first tried Steel Cradle, I avoided it after that because Steel Cradle handed me my butt a few times, and I was like, I'm wasting fuel on this, trying this one. I'll do something else that I can accomplish. Because the Leviathan that you fight at the end can be pretty tough for low-level vehicles, definitely. But if you've got tough vehicles and people who know what they're doing, go ahead, knock out Steel Cradle, because it'll be the fastest way for you to get through them. And if we're talking about efficiency, which is usually a key element of what I try to point out, that's a very efficient means to do it time-wise. Especially if you have a limited time window to be able to play and you want to knock out your dailies, that's a great way to do it in that case. That being said, I'm not the biggest fan of Steel Cradle. I just don't, not because I get my ass handed to me or anything, I just not the biggest fan of that mission or whatever. Data theft has a number of waves, so it has basically a time element to it, but we're going to knock it out anyway. So what it does, alright, so this one's going to be against nomads. It's on the bridge map, and the way data theft works is you go, you first gotta go and turn on a generator, so you defeat the defenders around that generator and the missile turrets that are around that generator. You turn on that generator, then it tells you to go and defend a tower. You go and you defend this tower against 2 waves of enemies. Then it tells you to go turn on a different generator, which has defenders and missile turrets around it. So you got to defeat those. Turn on the other generator. It sends you to a second tower to defend it against 4 waves of enemies. And then it tells you to go back to the first tower and defend it against 4 more waves of enemies, and then a final 5th wave that includes a boss. And that's how it goes. I'm not saying I hate Steel Cradle anymore. It's not my favorite. That's all. You know, it's not my, just like Frontier Defense. It's not my favorite. You know, I would rather do, you know, Data Theft or
The War for Fire.
Or Perimeter Breach, or, you know, something like that. Oh, here we go. There goes some porks. Oh, fortunes. Sorry. That's right. Porks roll them on the ground, right? Yeah, this one flings them. Or do I have that wrong? I don't know. I don't have either one. They're just ones I've seen. I could be totally mistaken on that. Alright, so that's wave 1. Like I said, we're defending this tower. That's wave 1. Here comes wave 2. And now it tells us to go and start the other generator. We got to defeat its defenders and missile turrets. Start the other generator. Then, like I said, oh, explosive car tire. That makes sense. Uh-oh. I'm coming. Oh. His name is a weirding word. Muad'Dib. Alright, so now it tells us to defend this other tower over here against 4 waves. That's wave 1. Here comes wave 2. Here's the start of wave 3. And here comes wave 4. And now race back to the other tower to defend it against 4 waves, and then a 5th wave, you know, that has the boss, like I said. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm probably 700 hours or something like that, maybe. I'm nowhere near 6,000 hours. Then again, like I said, I did have 3 years overseas in that, you know, in that time period in deployment, so I didn't missed out on a lot of playing then. But it is what it is. It's definitely fun. It's not number 1, and it may not be. It may be number 2 on my Steam list as far as number of hours played. But it's definitely up there as far as my most played games on Steam. I don't know. I'd have to look and see. I'll have to check it again. I know Crossout was either number 1 or number 2. I don't remember. I don't think it was number 1 though. I want to say it was number 2. That was a couple of weeks ago too, and I wasn't obviously. Well, I mean, I was just starting to stream it, you know. Then okay, well, here we go. Why? Everybody wants to run me out of my position. I don't think it was. I could be mistaken. I'll double check it. Yeah, I thought I was surprised myself, actually, that it may not have been. Oh, look at that. I ended up top dog on that one. Whatever. Nice. No, that's fine. That's cool. So we do have 20 more fuel. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to pause for the cause real quick here, just because I am going to take a look and see what my library says. Nope, never mind. It's number 1. In fact, it's by far number 1. I was wrong. I was mistaken. Yep, it's number 1. 732 hours. Yep. Number 2 was Fallout 4. Number 3 was Battle Brothers. And number 4 is Kenshi. Those are all over 200 hours, between 200 and 300 hours. So, yep. This is it. This is the number 1 most played for me. By far, compared to 280 something hours for whatever I said number 2 was. Fallout 4, I think, probably. And then, yeah. So we'll knock out one more easy level raid and get those, that will finish off. Yes, that'll finish off the win 6 battles and easy raids. We'll get that extra 100 engineer badges that way. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Secret Squirrel. This is Secret Squirrel Games. We are finishing off our daily challenge. Well, we've already done our daily challenges. I think we're finishing off some progress towards some weekly challenges currently as well. Right now, we're just doing an easy raid to finish off the weekly challenge of winning 6 easy raids for an award of 100 engineer badges. Well, you don't have to. They do that for you. So, that's convenient. All you do is look in the library and it'll tell you how many hours you've played. I mean, trust me, it's not like I just pulled up the screen and started doing math. You didn't see me over here. 1, 2, 5, 9, 8. Adding it all together. I guarantee you, they keep those statistics for you. They want to know. But, you know what? Like I always say also, if I added up the hours, you know, that I played video games, I could probably be a doctor instead. If I just applied myself, right? So that's another way to look at it. Yeah, take care, Dove. Good seeing you, man. Thanks for joining the community. I'll show you that awakening next time. That adventure mode, okay? I remembered it. There's another one, yeah, that went behind me, right? There you go. Yeah, take care, man. Have a good day. First few years, they hadn't invented counting yet. Is that what you're trying to say? That's how long you've been gaming? They hadn't invented numbers. I've been gaming so long. They didn't even have numbers back then to keep track of it. Back then, Steam was just called Ice. And then due to global warming, it eventually became Steam. $1.6. 7,000 plus in 1.6. What do you mean by in 1.6? Back to the other tower. CSGO. Understood. Man, those are fucking shots, huh? Those weren't playing around right there.
more down here. Are you stuck? There was something else down there. Saw something. There you go. Yeah, whatever. You can finish them. Just finish them. Thank you. That's all I'm asking for. Just asking you to finish them. Boom. And few hours after launch. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Alright. So we're done with that. We get those 100 engineer badges. We're done with our fuel. How are we on the seasonals? We completed all of the main and additional challenges as well as the daily challenge, just by default, just by equipping the right vehicle in order to do them, like I said. We're very close to the 42 daily challenges here, so, you know, one more day, that'll be done. You know, easy enough, easy peasy. I mean, we could get the wires that we want. Copper will be finished up tomorrow. After that, it's all gravy, man. Oh, I can do this. I can go back into the adventure mode and replay this battle or whatever for some of those rewards. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later. I don't need to occupy everybody's time just doing that. But you know what? I am going to do it. Screw it. I am going to do it. Replay that battle. That'll be a retro thing, though. I don't need anything else. I don't need them. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to knock that, replay that mission for those extra rewards that it wants to hand me. It's a harder version of the original quest mission, this one particular portion of the quest storyline. They do that after you've completed the quest series. Then it gives you harder versions to play. Somewhat harder, I guess. I don't know. It really depends on your vehicle build and stuff like that, I guess. I didn't find the quest to be all that difficult, you know, driving around in a 12,800 power score vehicle. So, but that's fine, you know. Here we go. Flying up the hillside. There's scrap over here. I'll take some free scrap. Here it is. Thank you. I'll take that. Gotta like the free scrap just laying around. Oh, cool. Some more. Some more free scrap. Oh, engraved casings. Nice. All I do is come around the corner, y'all. Come around the corner. Drifted. There we go. Around the corner, y'all. We'll accept whatever the hell this mission is. Oh yeah? Wanted system. Alright, take care, Bigfoot. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate the feedback and the suggestion as well, and we are going to run with that next week. Have a good night, though. Thank you. Viewership is always appreciated. For those who are not familiar, I'm Secret Squirrel. Welcome to Secret Squirrel Games. Much appreciated for you guys tuning in today. What do we got to do? Reach the scrapyard where people saw the treated one. Alright, that's fine. Easy enough. Oh, Free scripts. Free stuff. 1 engraved casing. 1 engraved casing. Like I'm at some kind of an athletic event. Sporting event. Alright. So we're going to race over here. Reach the scrapyard where people saw the quote-unquote treated one. The treated one. Draw Vicky's attention. Destroy 5 of the scrapyard vehicles. Shan't be too difficult, I would imagine. 5 scrapyard vehicles. Let's just fire some random lobs out there and see if I hit anybody. I did not. Still nobody. Oh, we got somebody's attention a little bit. Alright, there's one. Oh, you want to shoot cannons, do you? Now how you feel about it? Not feeling like it was such a good idea after all, are you? Oh, another one wants to do the same thing. Oh, well, this is easy. Now what you got for me? There you go. 5 are done. Frankie, fetch. Get him. Yeah, come on, Frankie. Oh, so you're over here, are you? Okay. Oh, that wasn't Frankie. Oh, crafty. Crafty. Stop hitting me with that. That's it. Challenge complete. Boom, 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 boom. 2 Bigfoots. Yeah. Anyway, so that solves that issue. I can return to the garage. That challenge has been completed. If I go in here... Oh, not that one, whatever. If I come in here and double check, boom, it is gone. Got all that reward. So we are done with our seasonals. We are done with our dailies. We've used up our free fuel in raids. Tomorrow we will finish off copper as the reward here, and our normal dailies for the seasonal, as well as our normal dailies on the regular challenges tab, and that will complete up our 42 daily challenges here. Anything else, like I said, is just gravy beyond that. I appreciate everybody's viewership. I think, hold on a second. Okay. Yep, the girlfriend is on her way home. She just texted me anyway. So, I do appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thank you very much. As always, we'll be on again Tuesday through Friday, noon to at least 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Crossout, doing our daily and weekly challenges, progressing toward them at least, if nothing else, on the earlier days of the week. Much appreciated, everybody tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and call it here, though, for today. And actually, let me see if somebody else might be on, and I can hand you guys off to somebody else who might be on. Welly is on, Core is on. Do you guys have any particular preferences? Otherwise, Energized is on as well. I can bring you guys over to... I don't know. There's a bunch of people on right now. Wow, there's a ton of people on. Wow, for Crossout, this is a lot of folks. A lot of folks. I am not used to seeing this many people streaming Crossout currently, so that is pretty amazing. I guess I'll just, you know what? I'm gonna send you guys to Energize if you guys don't mind. How's that? We're gonna raid. You want to raid? Yeah, later, Sego. We'll raid. Oops, I have caps lock on. Energized. We're gonna raid him. All right. Feel free to say hi over there to Energized and enjoy his stream as well. Hopefully, he will keep you guys entertained, and you guys will have a good afternoon with more Crossout action. Otherwise, like I said, tune in tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time in the United States for more Secret Squirrel games. I would definitely appreciate your company. Till then, take care. Have a good one. And I am going to call